So, you want to make money performing magic. Well, before we start, a little disclaimer.
Neither of us are career magicians. I'm a graphic designer, trainer's in school, so take that however you want it when receiving this advice.
However, we have made, I guess it's okay to say, a good amount of money doing magic part-time. At parties, fundraisers, events. We've done it individually and together as Rise Magic. So let's give you some pointers. Alright, so if you want to skip around, we're going to talk about our personal experience. What we have done individually for money and as a team in Rise Magic.
Second, we're going to talk about, are you ready to actually charge for your services as an entertainer and as a performer?
We're going to also talk about your presentation, how to showcase your professional vibe to put out the idea that you are a professional that can get paid.
Next thing we're going to talk about is knowing what you actually want, whether that's stage or close-up magic, when you're actually performing, and how much you actually want to charge for your services as a performer.
We're also going to talk about getting your name out there and just getting out there and meeting people and making connections.
The last thing we want is to teach you how to be prepared for when the opportunity strikes. Personally, I've done a few things as a magician. My main thing is performing at Chick-fil-A for a few years as the official team magician, right there. Alongside that, I performed for proms, retirement homes. I was for Chick-fil-A. I was performed for all the family fun nights and proms, retirement homes, other types of charity events. Performed for small businesses.
He's been doing this for 6 years. He's a lot more accomplished than me. He ended up teaching me. I did it for 4 years. I have done it at retirement homes.
For 8 years.
8 years?
I don't even know anymore. I think 8 to 10.
Okay, I'm only at 4, but he taught me, and individually we've done it. I mean, I've done it at retirement homes, at country clubs, at like political party events at my college.
Check what it is.
That's crazy! Oh my gosh!
But it's not impressive to make something disappear, right?
Where the voodoo?
You have to make it reappear. I'm far away from that. Check what's inside.
Oh no.
That's against the Liberty Way.
And stuff like that. But together, we formed Rise Magic about 3 years ago. And since then, we've worked at fundraisers and charity events and
The same type of events,
yeah,
just together rather than individually.
Together. And you know, if you follow us on Instagram or YouTube, you know, we don't really post about that stuff because it's kind of tough to film a professional gig.
Exactly.
But we do it quite a bit, and it's like always, you know, an interesting and good time.
It's always a good time.
Nah, I hate you.
Are you ready? If you found someone on Instagram, YouTube, etc., with your exact same skill sets, would you want to actually pay them to do an event? Your little sister's birthday party, your parents' anniversary party. Would you actually want to give them your hard-earned money?
Well, here's the thing. You need experience, and I know everyone's got to start somewhere for their first paying job, but you need experience. You need to be an experienced performer, whether that be for friends, family, people at school. This way, for a paid job, which has a lot more pressure, you can handle making a 1-minute trick last 10 minutes. That comes in handy when you have a time slot you have to fill, and you have your one little 1-minute trick. You need to be able to tell a story and make it interesting, and make that trick last 10 minutes.
Make that trick engaging so that the people are actually enjoying it rather than just a couple things where it's just like, oh, hey, look, this cool thing happened.
Exactly.
Make it an actual presentation performance.
Now, you also need to be able to handle hecklers. Like, on a paid gig, when that happens, don't get flustered. I mean, everyone's going to be nervous, but you need to be able to handle yourself and be able to perform for really hours on end. Not that that'll happen in a paid gig, but you need to be prepared for any situation.
Okay, do we want to watch another one? Want to watch another one? Yeah! Let's see another one. On 4.
On the spot?
On the spot? You got one more?
I tore this card, so
Okay.
I need one volunteer.
I got you.
Me.
John Mayer.
Now, if you think you have the experience and those chops to be able to perform like that, then you're ready to get paid. Get that money. So, how you present yourself. Now, what I mean by this is magic is a special thing. People never really see it. So if you're a student and you're at school and you're constantly performing magic for everyone for free, it's no longer special. You need to present yourself as someone who does get paid and make it a special opportunity. You can get like 500 nice business cards for yourself for free. Just look it up online. You could easily make a social media profile. You don't even need a big following. What you need is just a way to put yourself out there and say, listen, I am going to be getting paid, and those special tricks, that's for when I do my jobs.
Yeah, focus on the actual content on your social media profiles as well. Make sure that it's quality things that people will see and say, oh, hey, this guy is a professional.
Yeah, like, you know what I hate is when people are like, here's a trick I've been working on. It's not all the way done yet. It's a little bit sloppy, but check it out. No. You shouldn't be posting something that people can replay 800 times if it's not perfect.
All right, so what do you want? What do you want to get paid?
It's a touchy subject.
It is, and we're going to be upfront with you. I'm going to tell what we get paid right now at our point in careers, what I first got paid. Now, my very first paying gig wasn't actually much. It was $7.50 an hour. It was my normal hourly wage as a cashier at Chick-fil-A at the time. Now, as I progressed, I got a pay raise. I asked for it and went up to $25 an hour. And that's what I did for Chick-fil-A's family nights for 4 Chick-fil-A's in the area at the time. Now, the only reason I got that over the hourly wage was because I actually asked, and I said, hey, this is something special I'm doing. I'm traveling out of my way. I really need to be being paid more than this normal hourly wage. And they asked me like, hey, what do you want? And just out of the blue, I was just like, $25 an hour, how does that sound? They said, sure. And I think I probably could have gotten more back then, but $25 an hour, that's really good for just the very first gig. And the experience that I gained from that was invaluable to asking for more in the future and having something that I've actually done that was credible as a professional magician.
Now, once you hear that, I mean, we'll be straight honest with you. Nowadays, we're getting paid, not in a cocky way, but just because I know you guys are curious, upwards of $150 to $200 an hour individually when we work as a team as Rise Magic. So
that's a normally hourly rate, but as of course, depending on the event and the venue and whoever it is, we're willing to fluctuate that. I would say start high, then be able to negotiate lower. It all depends on the venue.
What I would suggest doing is going to Google and just searching, if you were going to hire a magician, and you'll find that lots of professional magicians, maybe people who are a lot older than us, are charging like close to $500 an hour. So it's not unreasonable to go high and then come back down low. But when you're a niche talent, a magician, and you're good at what you do, you're allowed to charge high. However, your age might factor into this. If you're very young, it would be hard for someone to take you seriously if you're like, yeah, it's my first job, $200 an hour, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes you might have to start for free. Say, hey, I'm a waiter at this I'm a waiter at this restaurant. If I come in as a magician, don't pay me at all. If the customers like it, maybe I come back, maybe you pay minimum wage. Next time, it increases just like Grant did.
Yep.
Now, you need to get out there.
Get out there!
Get out there! What I mean by that is people need to know who you are. And the number one thing in life, in business, and everything, not that I'm that qualified to talk about, but what I'm saying is making connections.
Marketing yourself.
Grant made connections at Chick-fil-A and got that job.
Yeah.
I worked at a retirement home as a waiter. I made connections with all the people. All my supervisors were, making sure I did my job as a waiter. When they walked away, the elderly folks at the old home would be like, at the old person home, no disrespect.
Not sure how correct that is to say, but
they would be asking me how my day's going, and I would show them a magic trick. And eventually, all the residents who I love dearly of that retirement home started talking to the boss. The boss comes to me and says, I heard you do magic. Show him a trick, and he offers me a private show in the ballroom of the retirement home for the elderly people. So you need to be getting yourself out there. Another thing, we used to go into our town media and do street magic, and we actually met the event coordinator, just randomly doing magic for people. We met the event coordinator for all events in the city, and she introduced us to an older magician named Fantastic Frankie, and he gets us tons of gigs.
Yeah.
Lots of really good paying gigs. He's a professional magician, and that was by pure chance of just getting out there and performing for people.
Yeah. Back when I worked out at Chick-fil-A, one thing that I would do all the time is on my half-an-hour meal breaks in the mall, I would just go out and perform magic for people. Just purely because I wanted to practice getting out there, talking to people, actually performing. And by happen chance, one of my coworkers saw me performing magic, like, what are you doing? There's like a crowd of 30 people around you watching you do something. What are you doing? And I showed them a couple tricks. And they were like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, why would you show any of us this? And then eventually the word gets to my managers. They think it's awesome. They tell me that they want me to do it at an event. At the event, the owner of the Chick-fil-A's is there, and I end up doing tricks for him. And then the whole thing with working at the family nights happened, and it just got out there.
Connections are the key, and you only get those connections by getting out there, meeting people in power, having a job where you could interact with people. Like, we were both waiters, he was a cashier. If you interact with people, you have the opportunity to show them magic. And once people see magic, they love it, and you're set. All right, you have to be prepared.
I always come prepared.
Can you just help me find?
Be prepared. This lesson must be shared. This lesson must be shared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared.
There will be points when important people will walk into your life, and they can present you with opportunities aplenty, and you need to be prepared at that moment to show them something quick and impressive, so that they know you're the freaking man. Now, like I was talking about, when I worked at the retirement home, the elderly folks, they all knew about me doing magic, and they talked to the boss about it. Now, I was just, cleaning up dishes, getting people food, and my boss walks up to me and says, I heard you're a magician, show me a trick. At that point in time, I had 2 decks of cards on me. One normal and one, and I showed out. I showed him a sick trick, and he was blown away. Now
when I'm at Chick-fil-A working in the mall, and I'm cleaning up the front, scrubbing down some grease, and my manager comes up to me and says, hey, what's up with this? I'm hearing about magic. I was able to just pull something out and show him something freaky.
And you also told me, right, so the owner of multiple Chick-fil-A's comes up to Grant when he's performing magic and is like, yo, show me a trick.
Yeah, this dude would own 5 Chick-fil-A's in the area or something like that. I'm just like,
put it this way, he had fat stacks, okay? And Grant was just like, oh, you want to see a trick?
He was able to provide me with opportunities, and I knew that, and so I just showed him everything that I could do.
I also worked at a country club, and some of the people who were members there found my social media profile, Rise Magic, and they were like, yo, I heard you do magic, let me see a trick. I was prepared. Even though I was a waiter, I had 2 decks of cards on me. Showed out.
Now, there was one time in my past where the president of my college, he was around, and I literally didn't have anything on me, and it was terrible. And people were talking to me about I was a magician, and I didn't have a deck of cards, anything. But I did remember I had a set of 3 cards in my back pocket, in my wallet, for the 3-card Monty, so I was able to whip that out and show him something. Just something small that you can have on you at all times. Goes miles.
So if you do card magic, have cards. You do ring magic, always have rings on you. Coin magic,
Have coin.
Always get that bread. Always be ready to show out, because luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And if you're prepared and that opportunity arises, bam, you got your connection, you got your job, and you're making money doing magic.
And I've been trying to dig my way out of the ocean and punch a hole in the sky and float the